it is the third Wednesday of the month. It's monthly momentum. And there's been a lot going on, and we took a little bit of a break. And so we thought it would be a good time to kind of start easing back into getting back together on some sessions. We're going to continue with monthly momentum. We're going to continue with happy hours. And we're also going to continue with Members Connect, and that's going to be a Members Connect Q&A and potential cash flow crunch. So we're going to do basically three events a month, have a little bit of a spring summer schedule, and really kind of dive into, I said it earlier, this word of the year, which seems to be hesitancy. There's a lot of hesitation. And so what are some of the things we know post-election? What are some of the things we know with what's going on in the market? And what are some of the things that we control, like our health, our relationships, our mindset, our reactions to things. And so we still want to be in a place where we're moving forward, and we have to decide, what does that mean for us in terms of moving forward?
There is life after elections. Let's just say that it was a long 8 weeks of long hours. Uh, Unfortunately, the whole election experience, we're losing people that understand how the process works, what you can do, what you can't do. And so because of that, in my area in Moncton, I've kind of become the resource person. On this election, I was known as Essential Darlene. The Maritimes are still going strong here. Politically, we haven't had a lot of damage yet. What's happening is that we will in the top part of New Brunswick because of close to the state of Maine. We're hoping that, tourism people will stay locally a bit more. We're trying to, hopefully get some more of the intertrades. Yes, I didn't bother going into the policies because we've heard it all from, what was happening, what they can do. We're disappointed in some factors. Is the Maritime still a place to invest? Yes, it is. Are we still booming? Yes, we are. Immigration, we still got a lot of people here. We still got some new people. We're just trying to deal with what we have. There is more opportunities still hitting the marketplace. It's still new apartments going up. There's still housings that are being sold. We still have the older generation that is retiring. So I think that is going to make a big difference on.
So yeah, I thought I would chat a
Joking,
little bit
right?
about that for sure. I mean, the election dust, I would say, has settled a little bit, and I think generally Canadians are cautiously exhaling, regardless of how we feel politically. We're all happy that it's over, and that we can, just try and work on what's going to happen, how that's all going to lay out for the future. And the latest confidence index does show sentiment climbing to a 9-week high. It's still below neutral, but we are trending upward. So people are feeling generally an increasing, maybe, hopefulness. And yeah, the newly elected government does seem to be providing a modest boost, with those expecting economic improvement jumping from 10 to 16% since early April. So yeah, we are kind of seeing more positive sentiment, but housing is telling a different story. A whopping 67% of prospective homeowners or home buyers, sorry, report that they're waiting for interest rates to fall before making a purchase. So this hesitation makes sense when 55% still expect economic conditions to worsen, and we've got an unemployment rate currently at 6.9%. So there's all my little stats. Housing markets in BC and Southern Ontario are definitely feeling the uncertainty more acutely than other markets.
Yeah, so I was actually in Edmonton for the whole week, and every single day it was an investor networking, investor meeting going on. And there was actually 3 separate bus tours organized by different people in Edmonton, taking handfuls of investors or wannabe investors or experienced investors and taking them to different areas of Edmonton and showing them what is possible, what's in the process and final product. So lots of action going on just in the city of Edmonton.
as we all know, the Bill 44 has forced all municipalities to allow for gentle densification. We're seeing a fair amount of uptake on that. Again, most of it is still multi-generational. And there's some groups that I'm working with. I think I've mentioned this before. One of the groups is families with adult children with disabilities, and they're sort of going, what happens when we're gone? And so some of those families are coming together. Interesting lunch with a couple who've launched a new business, and they're looking at creating communities amongst multi-family redeveloped properties so that they'll have a shared community center in a regular neighborhood, and people will be part owners in that community center. So there's a lot of different things happening around this. Small Works is getting really a lot of calls. Still, at least once a week, I'm sitting talking to clients who are looking at densification. The margins are still a little tight, but I think everyone's read the media around developers in Vancouver. Many of them literally aren't answering their phone anymore. They're shutting down.
Those of you who don't know me, I don't actually acquire anything in Canada. I am actually third generation Canadian. I'm proud to be Canadian. We only acquire assets in the US, and we're really focused on two different asset classes, and that's US multifamily institutional assets, which are 100 doors plus. And then an asset class that we've been very bullish on for many, many years is called BTR, build to rent. We were actually trying to take one down back in 2022 in Tucson, Arizona, and we had to walk away because interest rates increased 6 consecutive times during our due diligence. So we ended up walking away from that. But yeah, I was going to say, Liza, we just closed on, we're just finalizing the closing on Apollo Oaks, named after my second son there. And we're just kind of finalizing that because investors are able to use their registered funds now. So they're just kind of getting in the registered funds, and we're finalizing everything. So we're very excited about that.
In big cities like Vancouver, Victoria, has really gone up. In my opinion, it's gone up as it should go up. I mean, we all invest in real estate and we expect it to go up over the years. For it to stay the same or to go down is really not what we bought in for. So, you know, you look at Gregor Robertson, and he being our housing minister federally. So he finally said the right thing, and I was thrilled to hear it. Existing real estate shouldn't go down. That's not going to solve our housing shortage. It's building new obtainable real estate, and part of that is interest rates. So the feds are responsible for that. Reduce these interest rates, right? 3%, magic number, great. I'm looking forward to that. So people can afford to get into the market. You know, developers can afford to build those properties at decent interest rates. That's what slowed down the market in the past few years. I mean, what we're seeing now is the past few years of interest rates shooting straight up.
My expertise is people and what makes us tick. Why do we do what we do? When are we willing to take risks? And it's interesting in terms of the uncertainty. Liza sent me a note and said, you know, what do we do to survive these crazy times? And, you know, lots of turbulence. And I think for so many people, it's almost addictive because we feel we need to be informed. So we're looking out and listening to the news and trying to gather data and so on. And the problem with that is a lot of the news isn't that great. There's lots of turbulence and you know, loss of lives and wars and so on and so forth. So it's a very tricky balance to find, how do I have inner stability while staying a little bit tuned in to what's going on and not getting swept away? Because one of the things that I think a lot of people don't know is everything you literally think is picked up by your sympathetic nervous system.
And I'll be doing some case studies because there's some really nice real estate you can get in Thailand. And, you know, when you're looking at 400,000 Canadian, you're looking at like a penthouse, right? And sure, there's stuff that's more expensive than that, but it's it's really something to, you know, and the cherry on the top of everything is you get to say, I own a condo in Thailand, right? I mean, how fantastic is that?